Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you are around the world, around the country, around the city. I'm your host, Dr. Theresa Canada of the Silk Stocking Sisters podcast. In this podcast today, I'd like to talk about a special friend who really started it all for me on this journey. When I attended PS6 in the fourth grade, there was a really special friend who had a wonderful party, invited all the classmates to attend. And that was one of the best opportunities I had to really get to know a lot of my classmates, especially this classmate who was open and welcoming to everyone. And it was also transferred, I guess, coming from her parents who are open and welcoming to everyone, to allow someone like me to attend her party, along with my other classmate who attended with me. My father would drive us to the parties. Of course, my friend Pam would come along with me to many of those parties. And this is one particular person I'd like to just talk about today, because when I started this idea of doing this podcast, trying to find my fourth grade friends, I wanted to make sure I found this particular friend. And this episode is dedicated to our late friend, classmate, Betsy Quint Feldman. Betsy was a person who really said to me, this is a great idea. I'm on board. This is wonderful. I'd love to participate. I think it's great to get us all together again. And she said this many times. So when I finally had my first episode last year, Betsy was the first person, I think, who really was just jumping on top of everything and spoke, and she even had written information about it. But we lost Betsy a couple of months ago. I should say maybe it was in May, May of this year. We lost Betsy, and she is no longer with us, but she's always going to be with me in spirit. And I can never thank her enough for all of her support of not only my book. When she read the book, she bought the book and she read it, and she wrote a comment about my book online on Amazon. She wrote a comment, which was wonderful. And then she also was on board with the podcast, being supportive of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and getting us all together. And the biggest regret I have is not being able to see her before she passed away. And that was something we were planning to do this past summer. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. So I want to dedicate this particular episode to my good friend, Betsy Quint Feldman. And I want to thank you all for just being here, just listening to this. Not all episodes are going to be about just experiences, but this is an episode about friendship and how lifelong friendships can take place, whether you see each other every day or every night or not at all for years. But when you do get together, it's a wonderful experience. And I'm using this particular episode for you to understand that individuals and relationships make a difference in one's life. And the relationship that I had with Betsy from fourth grade up until this year was one of the best relationships I could have had, and a really true friend. And we just had a good relationship from day one until the very end. And I just wanted to take this time to thank her and to acknowledge her presence in my life, in the lives of all my classmates from the fourth grade. And she's truly going to be missed, because I miss her. And I'm just thankful that she was able to participate in the initial podcast of the fourth grade classmates from PS6. And that we were able to get together and do this. So to all my other classmates, you all are well aware that Betsy was on board with this from day one. And I'm just grateful for all of you, but especially I'd like to acknowledge Betsy for her enthusiastic interest, not only in my book and with experiences that we talked about in the book and the PS6 experience, but also being able to support the podcast when I decided I wanted to talk about issues related to the book and beyond. So basically, everyone, this is a very short video just to talk about my friend Betsy and to basically thank her, acknowledge her. And this is a tribute to Betsy Quint Feldman. So until the next time, we'll see you wherever you are around the world, around the country, around the state for another episode of the Silk Stocking Sisters. Have a great day. Bye now.